All right, what's going on, guys? Welcome back. I haven't made a video in a little bit. As all of you know, a lot going on in the world right now, but I've been doing a lot of reading, and I've been rereading certain books that I've read a long time ago that I wanted to share with you. They've helped me tremendously in my life, and I have recommended to other people these books as well. But here's this stack of books that I'm gonna run through real quick. But they're just great overall books. You know, you always got to have those books that you always come back to, reread. They taught you some valuable lessons that, you want to share with other people and tell other people about them. So first book, this is probably the first book I read on personal finance. I think I read this book when I was 15, actually. I was at Barnes & Noble with my mom, and it looked interesting. I picked it up. It's a classic, though, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. It's basically about real estate investing, difference between assets, liabilities. But even if you're not interested in real estate, it's still a good book to read just so you understand, businesses, real estate, assets, liabilities, knowing the difference between that. And that's just really going to help you out a lot in every area of your life. So it's a good book to read. Think and Grow Rich. This book, I think, was written in like 1937. So almost 100 years old now. But it basically talks about your mindset, right? And how when you envision your success, your money, what you want to see come true in the future, it all starts up here in your head, right? If you're always telling yourself you're never going to be wealthy, you're never going to have money, then you're probably never going to have it. If you're telling yourself you're never going to start that business, have that amazing relationship in your life, have whatever you desire in your life, it all starts up here, right? Every great invention, every great business there ever was, it started all up here. So talks a lot about mindset. Third book, Daring Greatly. This was written by a woman named Brene Brown. Talks a lot about vulnerability and how vulnerability really helps us get through life. It helps us have those difficult conversations in life. When it comes to vulnerability, we're always fearful, right? But when we're vulnerable with ourselves and with the people around us and our business partners and our jobs, it's just going to help us break through those barriers of kind of what's in front of our face there, which is always fear, right? We have fear. It's just this big wall in front of our face. And that's a lot what Brene talks about, and how being vulnerable is really going to help you in your life. Fourth book, 5 Love Languages. This is a classic book. I read this book when I was struggling a lot in my relationships with women. I still read it. I'm still not the best at relationships, obviously, but I still reread this book. And it's also good for, family relationships, friendships, right? Because we all give and receive love in different waves. And I wrote them down, actually. I'll run through them real quick. So the 5 different love languages are words of affirmation, quality time, gift giving, acts of service, and physical touch, right? So we all, like I said, we all give and receive love in different ways, and understanding your partner, your friend, your mom, your dad, your sister, your brother's love language, it's really going to help strengthen and bring that relationship closer. And last book, Power of Habit, as you can see, kind of a difficult read. Not really difficult, it's just kind of boring at times, but I reread certain parts of this book. But basically it talks about habits and why we do things the way we do things, and how, scientists say 90% of the time throughout our days we're making decisions based on our subconscious, right? And only 10% of that is consciously. So talks about, why we do things a certain way, creating new habits, getting rid of bad habits. But it just really comes down to, understanding really why you do things the way you do things. And I think a lot of times, even, myself, you don't even think about it sometimes, right? You don't even know why you do something a certain way versus another way. So habits are really powerful. That's a good book to read.